Hey guys, welcome to another webinar of 24-Hour Marketing Mastermind Strategies, where I'm going to be talking about some really cool tips and tricks that you can use in your marketing endeavors. All right, so before I get started, I just wanted to congratulate Jennifer Moorhill on her first couple of sales. I think it's so great. She's being consistent, she's following the training, and she's been doing very well. I want to congratulate you. I also want to congratulate Sonia, who's also made her first couple of sales online. It's very exciting stuff, and it actually does happen. And the great thing about this whole system is that when you put the actual strategies together and start working with it, it really does make a difference in your business, and you can start to see money coming into your account. And that's a wonderful, wonderful feeling. I know when it first happened to me, it was so overwhelming. I couldn't believe it. I had been struggling for about 8 months to make one commission online. And when I finally did it, I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh man, this thing actually does work. And then I realized the only key to actually getting this business going is to get people to your link and present them with an offer that actually works. You can, of course, do this on your own. You can go ahead and get your website together. It's going to cost you a couple of $100, maybe a couple of thousand if you get the right coding together. You can go all out and do it yourself, but why reinvent the wheel? There's a whole system here for you, which I'm going to talk about but later on in a little more detail. But I wanted to, before I get started, I wanted to give you an illustration of how stories are so powerful and what actually happened to me about 15 years ago. All right, now I don't tell this story very often, although I don't need to, but it is the most embarrassing thing that's ever happened to me in my entire life, and I wanted to share it with you. Not only that, so perhaps can have a laugh at my expense, and that's fine. I'm all fine with that, but I wanted to show you how this actually works in a world situation, and also how you can perhaps use it in your particular marketing endeavors when you're blogging or when you're making videos, whatever the case is. So I'm going to tell you the actual story, all right, about how I endured the most embarrassing moment of my life. And then I'm going to show you how that story exploded so greatly that everybody in probably all the provinces in my country started to know about this, in my denomination, because this actually happened in my church. And to this day, if you mention this particular incident, they're like, no ways, you're that Dave. And that's what actually happens. So I'm going to set the scene for you. I used to be part of a team in our church that would operate the screen. All right, so back then, 15 years ago, it was like a 286 computer. And if you don't know what a 286 computer is, basically it's an oversized calculator. It's huge, it's clunky, it's slow, it's ridiculous. Anyway, this thing was hooked up to a screen in the front of the church, so when people sing, they can actually see what's going on the screen. And I used to work with a couple of friends of mine while the services were going. We had 3 services that used to go, one in the morning, one in the evening, but we also had one midday, and people would go to that service. Anyway, so I go ahead and after each service, we'd probably, I was quite young back then, so we would just mess around with the computer after the service. We would type little messages on there and say, yeah, you're an idiot. Look how great I am, whatever the case is. And we would actually send these messages and try and embarrass people with these messages. And the couple of people that were staying after the service would see it and, oh, that's so embarrassing, whatever. So while the sermon is going on, I'm at the back and I'm really bored now, okay? I don't know what to do. And I'm just messing around. So I'm busy preparing all my messages on this computer, and I'm typing out this message. I said, Dave Raniker is the greatest. All right, that's what I typed. I typed this in large, I typed this in bold, and to top it off, I made it flash. And in the middle of the sermon, I sent the message. So it was like, this minister's preaching, and I send this message, and suddenly this thing just appears at the back of the minister. Flash, flash, flash. Dave Raniker is the greatest. And the minister kind of just carried on preaching, and he saw everybody do this, kind of looking up at, where the screen was. And he turned around, and of course I was at the back of the church, kind of, pressing delete, and nothing was happening. And I was frantic. I didn't know what to do. So I did what I thought would do, and I would just go ahead and I just turned the computer off, but I didn't know that it was already in memory, and the screen was still flashing. So I had to wait for the machine to boot up, and it's a 286. So you can actually hear this thing going tick, 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 clunking up, taking 5, 10 freaking minutes just to boot up. And of course, I am dying at the back because everyone is looking at me. And it was really embarrassing. Eventually, someone went up and just turned the screen off. I was absolutely mortified. Okay. And I didn't go to church for like a couple of weeks after that because it was so embarrassing. Now, the thing is that word soon spread about this. But, it was a great, I suppose, embarrassing moment. And it wasn't something that I could actually, it's not like it happened and then, like everybody knew about it. The minister at the time, his name was Reg Courtney, and he had a big reputation because everybody knew him. And his name kind of carried my story. So whenever somebody would say, did you hear what happened in Reg Courtney's service? Then the story would follow, and people were like, oh, who's this Dave? And eventually word got around, and I got so famous at one stage that it was kind of ridiculous, I remember I went to go and visit Cape Town on one stage, and this topic came up somewhere, and they're like, no, you're that guy? And I said, yeah, I'm that guy. And it's a great chatting point and everything. Just like with marketing. Now, I don't know how embarrassing that is on a scale of 1 to 10, but if it happened to you, I don't know how you react to it. And I certainly wasn't reacting very well to that whole situation. So that was very embarrassing for me. And so I wanted to tell you that the only reason that story got out was because it kind of borrowed on somebody else's authority. And because of that, the story got recognized. So just as a hint, when you're writing something, and you're writing something about my most embarrassing moment or whatever the case is, if you can connect it to something bigger than you that everybody knows about, that's somewhere that you can actually get recognized. And it's a great strategy for being able to write blogs, even to make videos where you can actually, but obviously it's got to be true. You don't want to be making up something that's not ethical. But this actually does, this is actually how the whole process works whenever you're trying to write a story and get people to notice you. And a lot of people have actually done this when they've borrowed the name of, for instance, Dave Wood. And they wrote a really interesting story where I think one guy wrote something to the effect of, Dave Wood gave me, it was like $100 or something. I can't remember how it actually worked, but because David Wood was so famous at the time, when you wrote your name, people would recognize the name Dave Wood and gave somebody $100, and they would read the actual story. And that's how this guy actually got his name out there. And that's just a tip for you guys whenever you're writing something and you want to get recognized. Use your imagination, try and be creative, and think of ways you can actually integrate your stories with something bigger than you that really actually does work. And what I want to do is I want to go through a couple of things today. And I've written some notes down so I don't get lost. And just so you guys know, I mean, for instance, last week, if you're on the webinar, I was in the middle of doing something, and I kind of made a mistake with the code that I was doing to show you how to create capture pages and landing page, and it was a mistake I made. And, you know, for a while there, I was kind of thinking, what the heck am I supposed to do? But I kind of got back into it, and I corrected the problem. So just so you guys know, everyone is going to make mistakes. Everyone's going to make kind of these stuff ups when you don't actually, when you might not get it 100% correct, and you just got to carry on. You know, you've just got to move on and understand that everybody makes mistakes. And the truth of the matter is, a lot of people won't even recognize the mistakes you make whenever you're doing something online. So don't be afraid of perhaps making your first video, writing your first blog. You've got to make a step forward in one direction or other. You've got to do something a little bit uncomfortable so that you can start progressing in your business, all right? Nobody ever started out a business and then just got it right 100% of the time. If you speak to all of the big boys out there, the guys that like Jeff Walker is a guy that started decades ago. And this guy has made mistake after mistake after mistake. Even Anthony Robbins, he lost, I think it was a couple of $1 million where he had to bounce back, and he made a couple of mistakes. But the whole point is, it doesn't matter how many times you get hit. It's about how many times you get up and carry on. All right. So we're going to be talking about some interesting things that you can do today with regards to your marketing. As I said, marketing like a boss. And, you know, I've actually coined that. Well, I didn't coin that phrase. It was actually taken by Andy Jenkins, like a boss. If you guys ever get his training, Andy Jenkins on video marketing, his stuff is unbelievable. I've got all of his free stuff, and his free training is unreal. So if you can get hold of his stuff, get it. Guy's an absolute genius when it comes to video marketing. So anyway, so we know from the get-go that video marketing does actually work, okay? So does everybody here agree video marketing does actually work? You've had experience with that? If you have had experience with video marketing working, please type in yes in the description so I can see that you guys are with me and you're following. Video marketing absolutely does work. It does drive traffic to your capture pages, so we know that to be true. I'll just check to see if you guys are responding here. Please, if you guys can interact, gives me a bit of encouragement to know you guys are listening and I'm not talking to a blank screen. All right, so we do know that video marketing works, and we also know that blogging works. And we know that blogging works because we've had a lot of people in our industry that have used it to drive so much traffic, where they're getting $20, $30, $40, $50,000 a month in their business. So we know it does work. But we also know that blogging takes a bit of time to get momentum, all right? So when you actually writing a blog and you want to actually start driving traffic to that website, this is going to take a bit of time for you to gain momentum. So we do know that is true. So what I want to do is I want to talk about what we're doing with product reviews. And then I want to talk about, because I spoke to you, I think in the last webinar, I said with Ryan that I have been working on a way where you can actually make product reviews in a way that you won't get flagged at all. And there is a way that you can do it, where you can actually make product reviews where you will not get flagged no matter what. And I'm going to tell you how to do that in a second. All right, but I want to talk to you about what we actually do with product reviews, just so we're on the level here. All right, so we know that we got to find a product that we're going to do a review on. And for the purposes of the training that you guys go through, we talk about binary options and how it's a very, very iffy way of making money, because they're using robots, and it's not something you actually do. You've got to trust your all your money to a robot that's going to trade for you. And we know that, or especially I do, because I have been trading before, that trading with a robot is not going to make you any money, because you need to be aware of the markets around you. You have to understand that human error is a part of it, that these catastrophes that happen around the world affect the market. So a robot is not going to take that into account. So you could lose a tremendous amount of money that way. All right, so we know that. All right, so once you've actually found those binary options, and you can look them up in clickshow.com, I would suggest getting to actually understand what a binary option is. And if you don't know what it is, just look it up on YouTube. Say, what is trading binary options. What is a binary option? Look it up, and there's some very, very explanatory videos that explain exactly what it is, just so you understand the concept. And then when you understand the concept, you'll understand what I mean by what's trading it for you. All right, so we found the actual product. Then what we do is we go ahead and we watch the sales video. And I say this to you, you've got to watch the sales video, all right? You have to have an indication of what the product is about, especially if, for instance, the product on binary options is a legitimate product, because some of these products are actually saying, we will teach you how to trade. All right, very few of them do, but you never know. You don't want to go ahead and say something that isn't exactly true about the product. All right, so watch the entire sales video. Then what you can do is you can actually expose the truth. You can actually point out the errors in the video. You know how they use fake testimonials? You can find them on Fiverr. You can look at the pictures. You can do what you want to actually go ahead and find these the way that they're not exactly being entirely honest. All right. Then, of course, you want to upload your video and you want to SEO the hell out of that video. All right. So you want to put a description. You want to put a title. You're going to put keywords. You don't want the keyword stuff the actual description. If you go through the training that I have for you, it's very straightforward. Now, we do understand that there are some problems with this method. And the problem comes in where, depending on how aggressive you are with the actual video, and I've been quite aggressive, and I'm sure a lot of you out there have been, like, you would say something like, do me a favor, guys, just run the hell away from this product. Do not go anywhere near it. And the problem is that sometimes people might flag the video, and they might flag it a couple of times, and then every now and then a channel might be taken down or suspended. But you can get the channel back. You've just got to make sure that your channel is actually connected with a Google Plus page. All right, you have to make sure that that is the case. And then what happens is when you get your channel back, you can get it back, and they can investigate why it was actually taken down, and you can perhaps put things right again. So this actually does happen, especially in YouTube marketing. Everybody at some point or other will, or perhaps have experienced this when your channel gets flagged, when your channel gets suspended. It's very frustrating. It's happened to me, and sometimes you won't do anything wrong and you will just get suspended. It's just the nature of the business, all right? The key is you've got to carry on doing it. So it's not like it's 100% sure thing. There will be snags along the way. So, the other thing too is the other, I would say, non-benefit, or the one problem with this is it's just taking, when you say click the link below in your video and you say go to my capture page, it's kind of it's a very one way of marketing. So they go to the capture page, you might get a sale, that's great, but it doesn't actually do much for your blog or anything like that. So this is what I want to talk to you about. All right. We want to talk about how to actually fix this problem. There we go. How to fix this problem. And this is what I want to suggest to you. All right. Now, I've been doing this for about a week now, or a bit less than that. And I've been doing something different with my actual video reviews. All right. So we understand that we can get lots of traffic with our videos. No problem. A lot of people, if you follow the training that I've set out for you with the onlinenetbrands.com/members, if you understand that training and you put it into practice, you can drive a lot of traffic to that video. Now, I've been doing something a little different. So what I've done is I've actually created a section on my blog called Binary Options. All right. Now, there's a category called Binary Options, and then in there I have posts on reviews. So I've recently done a post on, I think it was Smart Money App. And then what I do is I go ahead and I make a video in YouTube, and I'll say something like this. I'll say, in this video, we're going to be talking about Smart Money App, and I'm going to be talking a little bit about the product and what it's about. All right. Now, if you don't know what it is, it's you're trading binary options automatically with a piece of software. And I want to talk to you a little bit more about the pros and especially the cons in this product. Now, if you would like to know about the downside of this, what I've done is I've written an extensive overview of why this is the case. So what I want you to do right now is to click the link below so you can go to my blog. And on there, I've actually made a full video on the actual subject so you can see why. And I go into a little more detail. And then you just end the video and that's it. And that's what I've done. And the interesting thing about that is it actually has worked very well. And I did a review on a product called Free Money System, which has copious amounts of views on it. It's just got a lot of views. And now what I've done with that is I've actually taken that video and I've put a link into my blog underneath there. So when people are interested, they go down, they can actually click on that link. It'll take them to my blog with a video. Now, here's the interesting thing. I don't use YouTube to embed the video, all right? I go to a service on, there's a service on Amazon called AWS. If you go to aws.amazon.com, they offer you a free service for a year where you can upload up to, I think it's like 5 terabytes of information. And that will give you the ability to embed a video into your page on your Collage2 blog. So what I've done is I've gone ahead and I've actually made a full review on Smart Money app. And there you can be as aggressive as you want to. You could say, guys, I want to tell you everything. This is what makes me so angry. You can go nuts. And guess what? No one can flag you. You know why? Because you're not on YouTube. Nobody can actually go to YouTube and flag what you're saying. All right? So I hope you're getting what I'm saying. And if this makes sense, please indicate to me that it does make sense, just so that I'm being unclear. If you guys are actually wondering what I'm saying. All right. So let me just illustrate to you how this has actually worked for me. And look, guys, understand this. My blog isn't getting thousands and thousands and thousands of views every day. It's nothing like that. But I'm on the road there, and I'm actually getting some traction. So I'm getting opt-ins from my blog. And just yesterday, I was looking at my stats in my Webmaster Tools, where you can actually see what keywords are being searched for on your blog, and you can actually see whether people have actually gone to that blog and clicked on the link in your blog to go and see your capture page. And that happened to me yesterday, and I just wanted to show you, to share with you the image so you can see. All right, so I'm going to do that right now. Let me just share my screen with you. Sure, at the end of the webinar. Okay, if you guys can see that, that would really, really help me a bit here. Can you guys see my screen? All right. You guys are not watching. Oh my word. Oh, come on. All right. Let me check this out. Hold on a second, guys. Okay. Sorry. I don't know if you guys can see this. Hold on. All right, hold on. Can you guys actually see what's going on? Can you see? All right, sorry, I think I got the whole thing mixed up here. Sorry. All right, hold on. Can you guys actually see what's going on here? You guys can see now? Goodness me. All right. Okay. Wow. Guys, sorry about that. Had a bit of a mix up. If you catch the replay, you guys can see what happened in the beginning. All right. So basically what I was saying was I wanted to show you how my SEO has actually worked. So just let me go over that last section again, just so you guys can catch up where we are. Basically, I was saying when we make product reviews, we get people to go to the actual YouTube website where we give them the full review. Okay, so we give them the full review, and then afterwards we say click on the link below, and you can see what we have to offer. All right, that's basically what we do, and I know this works. You know that works. So what I'm doing now in the last few days or so, I've actually tried something different, and this is how you can actually do a review where you can guarantee that you will not get flagged. All right, a very, very small chance that your video is going to be taken down. All right, hold on a second. Are you guys actually seeing what's going on now? Okay, great. Sorry. Sorry about that, guys. That was my mistake, my bad. Anyway, so we know that we make product reviews. We know that it drives traffic. We know that we're saying click on the link below and all of that stuff. And that works out great. The problem is that it just goes to a capture page. Now, what I'm trying something new where I'm saying something a whole lot different now. So I will say in my video, that was XYZ product. I will say, hey guys, you've obviously come to this video because you want to look at XYZ product. Now, I'm going to be showing you some of the, I'm going to be talking about this to give you an idea of what you're getting into. But what I've actually done is, if you're interested, I've given you a lot more detail in my blog. And if you would like to look at that, what I want you to do is to click on the link below. That'll take you to my blog post where I can tell you a lot more detail about the product. And this is where you can make a very short video, tell people enough information to keep them interested, make a short video and get them to click on that link in your blog. Once they click on the link in your blog, then you can actually go ahead and you can put another video in there. Now, I don't use YouTube to embed that video. What I do is I go to a service called S3 Storage. It's aws.amazon.com. They give you free use of it for a year. They give you like 5 terabytes of information, which is a lot of data that you can store your information on there. And you can actually go ahead and put that video inside your Coloto blog, which is completely possible. All right. Now, this is the great thing about this particular service is that you can say whatever you want. So you can go on that video and say, okay, guys, I'm going to give you the full-blown explanation why you should run away from this product. All right. And you can just go crazy and you can tell people exactly what it's about. You don't have to dot your I's and cross your T's on YouTube because, you don't want to offend certain people. But what you can do is you can actually drive people to your blog. And then you can, on your blog, you can take the service from aws.amazon.com, upload your video on there, and then embed that video into the actual Coloto blog, which you can do. All right. And I might give some training on how to do that in the future. But you can look around and find out how to do it. It's very easy. You embed your video on the Coloto blog, and then you can just say what you want to. And then you can actually break it down on your actual Coloto blog. Now, I'm going to show you what I did. But I also wanted to show you something else. I'm going to share this. I'm going to stop the screen so hopefully you can see what's going on now. And all right, so sorry, I had to correct what was going on here. So I'm going to go to my Coloto blog. By the way, this is the service here. Amazon, AWS, you can go there and you can get some, it's S3 storage for Amazon.com. And you can go ahead and find that stuff. So I'm going to go to my actual blog here and show you something. All right, so here's my blog. This is my Coloto brand station. And here are my posts. And then I've given a review here called Smart Money App Review, Fake Testimonials. And you can go ahead and view this. All right, so let's open up a new tab. All right, so here is the actual Coloto blog, Smart Money App. Can you guys see this? I'm sure you guys can see it. Okay, great. So here it is. And you can see what I've done here is I've actually broken it down. I've written a bit about the actual product. I've taken a picture off the actual the website, and if you can actually make this clickable to go to your link as well, and you can put all the links in here. You can show the fake testimonials, and then here's my video, and this is from S3 Storage, and you can go ahead and play this, and I'll do the whole review on this actual blog, and you can go ahead and people will watch this and perhaps comment on it and go to the, and you can actually give people the option of going to the link right there. Very simple to do. And what I wanted to show you was I did I captured a screen yesterday where somebody actually typed in Walter Green, the free money system, and this is my actual review link right there, and 100% here. So they were looking at it for a very long time, and they actually clicked that link and went to the capture page, and that's what you can do. So the whole point of this process, let me just show you. Let me get back to my screen. The whole point of this process is that if you make an introductory video for the actual product, okay, and you're driving hundreds of people to that video, and lots of people are clicking on that link, and it goes to your blog, you're going to be eventually giving your blog a lot of traction and a lot of juice, so that you can actually start to get on the first page of Google, not just YouTube, but Google as well. All right, now that's something I'm actually putting into practice right now to get traction onto my blog. And obviously, when you make your blog, people can have a look at it, and they might be able to see something else around the blog where they can click on that link, and it'll probably encourage them, people to get more sales. And this is what I'm doing to increase my traffic. So I hope that's helpful. Now, I want to talk to you about actual blogging itself. I want to talk to you about actually blogging itself and the power of blogging. And to do that, I want to actually go to a website. I'm gonna share my screen here again, and I want to share with you. I'm actually tell you this story over here. Okay, so I'm going to go to a website called spazbook.com. Okay, so this is a website. It's called Spazbook Reviews, and it's done by a very good friend of mine. Wow, the color is a bit off here. There we go. All right, and he has made this blog. All right, his name is Bruno. Bruno is disabled. He's got spastic cerebral palsy, and Bruno loves watching movies, and he loves cricket. All right, and the one thing that he's been doing is he loves doing movie reviews on movies. All right, and the great thing about what Bruno is doing here is he's writing about his passion. His passion is he loves movies, and so he writes about these movies. All right, now here's what I want to tell you about Bruno. Bruno is not that techy when it comes to creating a blog. He doesn't he doesn't know much about creating a blog. So I set this blog up for him on WordPress. It's just a basic blog with a theme, and he goes ahead and he writes this actual blog here on, this is the movie Haywire, and he just writes this here. He's even got a video here, and he's getting so many comments. And he hasn't had this thing up for long. It's only been up for a couple of months. And he's getting up to 300 views a day on this blog. All right. Now, the point I want to make is that you don't need to know a lot about writing a blog. He just writes on the actual movie. He goes ahead and he writes about it, and lots of people are commenting on his blog. He's getting lots and lots of views, And this thing is slowly going up there in the view count. It's even getting better traction than my blog. All right. So, you know, if you get a chance, go and have a look at it. It's a very good website. He has excellent taste in movies. And you go over here, you can look at his recent movie reviews. But he really does a lot of work on this. Here's the thing. He doesn't do this every single day. He does this every couple of days. But he consistently works at it. And that's what I'm trying to get you to understand whenever you're doing a blog. Now, if you go ahead and do a blog, and you take this one, for instance, you can see that I've titled this Smart Money App Review. That's my keyword right there. And I've put it here again. And then I've put Smart Money App Busted. And I've written a little subject on here. And the interesting thing about the Colatu blog is that you can actually, let me just show you here. I'm going to go to my admin panel. The interesting thing about the Colatu blog is that it's so easy to use. All right. Everything is set up for you. You don't have to worry about setting up all the little bits of marketing because it's a marketing blog. And right over here, let's go here to edit. Just want to show you what you can do here. I mean, look at this. Give me a title. Give me an idea. It's a brilliant, brilliant blog. You can go ahead and you've got this little image over here. You can actually go ahead and you can make this link clickable to your link. So you can actually go ahead and put in your link. So I'll put http:// all right, so and then you can say open up in a new tab and you can say update. So now when somebody clicks on that link, they'll go straight to your capture page. All right, you can do this all over the place. You can do it for sandwich as well. So you can go ahead here, put in the actual link, and you can update it. Now here's the interesting, I mean, you just got to make your blog interesting. You can put the video in over here. Remember to put a call to action, and then you can actually, if you want to, you can take an image from this Smart Money app here, and you can add it at the bottom of here to make it look more appealing. I won't do that right now because that'll just take up a bit more time, but I'll show you in some examples that I have done. So let's go to posts again. All right, so let's take a look at one I did here. Professional sports athlete plays joke on driving instructors. All right, so here's a blog that I did. This is like a prank with a funny section on my blog. Here's a title I put here. I took it straight out of the movie. I wrote a little thing about the actual blog here. I put a video in there. I took this picture out from the actual video itself, and that was it. And I said, get another laugh and look at the zombie prank. And I've actually made this, the featured images over here. You can remove the featured image if you want to. You can put this here, so you can go ahead and upload an image here if you want it to show up on Facebook. You can go ahead and you can add an image here if you like a featured image to show up on the actual blog itself. So let me show you exactly what I mean here. You can go and view site. So right over here, these are my featured images that I'm currently working on. So when somebody comes to your blog, they don't just see writing, they can see these pictures here. Here's a free money system that I did. And this is the one that's actually getting traction. All right, so people see that. Here's a little video I did on free money system, and I told people exactly what I thought of it. I wrote a little description. Here's another video, and there's a picture of me. Simple, easy to follow. And that's basically what you want to do. Now, if you are using a Colatu blog and you haven't mapped your domain, in other words, it doesn't say like mine, it says yourdomain.com, and you're just using buildingabrandonline.com, that's fine. All right, you can currently use that, and it has a bit of link juice, it has a bit of authority and momentum, so you can actually start making those blogs and getting them recognized. But let's just say you mapped your domain. All right, you can actually go ahead and you can link it to a program called Webmaster Tools, right? And if you want to figure out how to do that, just go to the help section on the Colatu blog, and they'll actually walk you through how to set it up. All right, so and over here you can actually see what keywords are being searched. Whenever these keywords are pumped into the search engine, this is how many times, 76 times, fake testimonial generator. This 76 times, this appeared on the actual page that they were looking for. All right, and that 7 people clicked on my link for this particular one here. And I just wanted to show you free money system. Walter Green free money system. Look at this. I had 1 impression and 1 click, and there was 100% click-through ratio. And this meant that when somebody clicked on that link in the Google search page, when they actually typed in the word Walter free money system scam, my page came up, and they clicked on that page, and they went in and they clicked on the link inside the page, and you can see it's got 100% click-through ratio. All right, and that means that whatever I wrote in my actual blog on free money system was good content that they wanted to read. All right, so that's what Webmaster Tools can help you do. The other thing you want to do whenever you're posting something on your Colatu blog is you want to use a program called pingmyurl.com. All right, now this is just one of 1,000 you can use. Whether you're using this on the Colatu brand, actual, buildingabrandonline.com or yourdomain.com, every time you make a post, making posts, but you can't actually see it on Google. It's because Google needs to index your site, and Google needs to send these crawlers out to actually see that you're actually working on there. So what you would do to speed that process up is you would go ahead here and you would grab this link of yours, like mine. You just need to put in the front part of this. You don't put the whole actual, the whole link. You just put that in and click submit. And this box will come up. You can close that. What it's going to do now is it's going to submit, it's going to ping your URL to all the different search engines around the world. All right? And that's going to definitely help with you getting seen on the internet. And if you just follow this strategy every time you post on your Colatu blog, you're going to see results. You're going to see results on any blog that you post. But this will help your content so that it's seen on the actual search engines. I don't know if this has been very helpful for you guys. I'm sorry I had a mix-up in the beginning. It seems to be happening the second time it's happened. But if you have any questions, I'm more than willing to try and answer them for you. Let me see if I can just get back to mine. All right, so can you guys, does that make sense? Has it been helpful? If you guys can answer me, or just give me an indication. Well, there's a slight delay here. All right, so what I want to say about this is, if you're coming on here for the first time and you are wondering whether this actually works or not, I want you to understand that the people on this webinar that are watching with you are people that have actually succeeded as well. All right, and all they've done is they've gone through strategies that they've been taught and just being consistent with it and are seeing results. So I want to encourage you, if you're thinking about getting onto this program, and you want to find out if it works, go ahead and click that button below that says get started now. All right. If you get started now, this is what I'm going to do for you. All right. If you get started now, and I don't care what team you're on, all right, whether you're on my team, whether you're on somebody else's team, we can get on Skype and I will get on there and give you a 15-minute free coaching call to help you get started with your system. All right. And it only costs you $7 to get started. It's like $1 a day to get started with the system. And I will get on there with you and I'll help you set up a strategy that you can work out with and something that actually does work. All right. And I'll also give you access to my exclusive training, which is going to give you the actual how-tos on to get your business going very quickly. All right, so everything is laid out for you. There are webinars on there as well that you can follow, and these webinars will help you develop a strategy so you can start driving traffic to your link and to start seeing results very quickly. All right, Sonia, who's actually starting to see results, has implemented the strategy, and she has made 3 sales already. I know Jennifer as well, she's made a couple of sales as well. These are people that have actually taken the training that I've shown them and put it into practice and started to see results. So if you get started now, as I said, I don't care if you've got here through somebody else and you don't know what the story is. If you get on now, all right, and you can actually send me an email at dave@devforyou.co.za and say, Dave, I'm in. Could you give me a hand here? I will get on Skype with you and we can set up an appointment at a time and I'll give you a 15-minute training call to help you get going and to give you a little more info on what you need to do. Okay, so with that said, let me just actually put my email in here. So if you would like to know how to get hold of me, you can. So this is my email, but you have to get started now, all right? So, hey guys, let me just say that, you know, making money online is, you know, if you're on this webinar and you think that there's a quick and easy way to make money, it's just going to happen overnight. All right, I want to let you know that that is simply not the case. All right, every single person on here that has seen results has put work and effort into it, and all they've done is they've duplicated that same result. All right, if you wanted to become a mechanic, the only way that you would become a mechanic is if you would actually follow somebody else's lead and do exactly as they do. All right, now we've got a lot of people in this community who are contributing to the Facebook group that we have. And that Facebook group is filled with people who are actually members of the system that are seeing results every day. And the great thing about that community is that we are there to help each other. All right, we're not just there to help us. All right, we are there to help each other. I'm not just doing this for myself, I'm doing this for you because I want to see you get results. And as I said, you don't necessarily have to be on my team per se. If you are committed and you want to see a result, then I will get on Skype with you and I will give you that 15-minute free coaching call. But as I say, it has to be now. All right, if you can get on now with the system, it's like $7. Give it a try, test out the system, and you'll see exactly what all of us are talking about. A lot of people here are experiencing sales and consistently all the time. So with that said, please take advantage of this before we actually get off this webinar, all right? Because the time we get off, I think I'm going to run for about another 50 minutes after that with how many off. But after that, that's it, all right? So if you would like to get on now and start to see results in your life and in the system, get on the system, pay that $7, and just get started with a basic system. And guys, you'll start to see that the system actually does work. All right. The great thing about this whole system that we're using is that we have amazing training, all right, in the system. And as you go through each of the steps, you will start to see that your eyes will start to open of how this actually works for you. All right. So I think with that said, if there aren't any other questions that you guys have to, if you want to ask, you can ask me some questions. You guys better speak now. If you want. Are you guys there? Are you guys there? I guess not. All right. Okay, so if there aren't any more questions, I think I'm going to say goodbye. All right, so with that said, sorry we had a bit of a mix-up. I'm halfway in that webinar. If you want to catch the beginning half of that webinar, go ahead and do that. Sorry about that, guys. I think I had 2 pages with similar titles, and I should get that fixed immediately. All right, so I'm going to bid you guys a good night, and I will see you next week for the next Hangout. All right, so with that said, cheers, guys. Bye-bye.